Live. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tom. I'm a member of the Chamber Alliance of Rockland, proud member of the North Rockland Chamber of Commerce, and happy to participate in the networking, business, and chamber activities within Rockland County. We are the Chamber Alliance of Rockland. We are comprised of, let me just share my screen. We're comprised of 8 different chambers of commerce across Rockland County, and I'm pleased to say that a 9th one is getting started in just a few months. Here's a list of all the different chambers of commerce that participate in the Rockland Chamber Alliance. I'll just list them: Nanuet, New City, North Rockland, Nyack, Pearl River, Piermont, Sloatsburg, Suffern, and soon the Spring Valley Chamber of Commerce. Really excited about that. And just as a disclaimer, I put this in alphabetical order because we're all, on the same page here, but I just wanted to make sure that, no one chamber is better than the other. We're all working on it together in order to help each other. And really the purpose of the Chamber Alliance of Rockland is really just to develop more good quality business. Allow each of the chambers to be able to have their members network with each other, share good resources, good advice, and thrive in their individual businesses. I'm very pleased to introduce our guest speaker today. We have Man-Lee Lin, Economic Development Specialist for the U.S. Small Business Administration New York District Office. Man-Lee, I hadn't met her before, but she has provided very consistent updates to me on almost, at least a weekly basis, but usually more like a daily or every 2 days basis about things that are happening. And this has been for the last 6 months. And I figured that this would be the perfect time to bring her in to talk about updates to the loan and grant programs through the SBA. So Man-Lee, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I can turn it over to you. We have a few attendees. I'll start allowing other people in, and please feel free to just take it away and go for anything that you'd like to bring up.
Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen first. A lot of information. So actually I will send Tom the PowerPoint, and everybody will get one. So
yeah, we could see your screen.
So today actually I will talk about focus on RRF, the Restaurant Revitalization Funds, and also I will mention other programs actually SBA is managing right now. So the first news is SBA finally have the translations for different kind of language. So if you go to sba.gov, actually you can select the languages. Okay, so I'm going to just share with you first what's SBA's program available now. The first one is PPP. The deadline will be May 31st. But that's the date that actually the PPP lender can submit to SBA. It's not for business to submit to the lenders. So we encourage you to submit your PPP application to the lender 1 week before the May 31st. So the lenders have time to processing and send to SBA. The second one, shuttle venue operator grant. Reopen the platform for application on April 26th. So I hope that actually, they are ready because they need to register on SAM, SAM.gov first. The third one is IDLE. IDLE have a very good news. Originally, they only approved up to $150,000 to cover 6 months of your operating cost. Now they raise up to 24 months. 24 months for your operating cost, and can increase up to $500,000. So you don't reapply. you have to submit, you can request for increase. So later I will have slides to show you how to request the increase. And so today we will focus on the $28.6 billion for the, we call RRF, for the Restaurant Revitalization Funds. Okay, the updated information is we'll begin registration on Friday, April 30th at 9 a.m. So registration, you just give you the time, you can open an account and get ready to apply. They will start application on Monday, May 3rd at noon, 12 o'clock. That's for Eastern time. So this is the website that actually you will go to, but it's not open yet. Okay, I have to wait until Friday. So the first 21 days from May 3rd, the first 21 days, everybody eligible can apply. But SBA, we're only process business owned by women, veterans, and socially and economically disadvantaged. Okay, only they can get the funds during the first 21 days. Then after 22nd days, actually, SBA will process all the loans, but according to the time orders actually that you your application. So we encourage everybody to apply on May 3rd, first day, first hour, first minute. Okay. Some businesses already ask because there is a priority for women, minority, and socially economic disadvantage. So, they ask if they can reorganize, they change their business to women-owned or minority-owned. The answer is no. Okay, please do not do that. Actually, you will be automatically disqualified for that reason. So if right now you can go to sba.gov/restaurants, okay, and then you can submit your email address so they can send you the notice as soon as they open the platform. I will go to the detail that what industry will be eligible, but the good news actually, the cover period actually for the RRF will be 3 years. So okay, before March 11, 2023, you can use the funds. Okay, and the other things for business already permanently closed are not eligible. And the general definition is, you have a business place, you offer to the public that actually they come to you and you serve the food or drink. But I will go to the detail. So this is the detail. On the left side, okay, restaurants, food stamps, food trucks, food cars, caterers, bars, saloons, lounges, taverns, and any licensed facility or you of a beverage alcohol producer that you can provide, people can taste or sample or purchase products. And other similar places, actually, the public come to you because you can serve food or drink, snack and non-alcoholic beverage bars too. On the right side, okay, on the right side is those industry actually you are eligible, but actually you have to provide the document to prove that in 2019, your gross revenue, actually more than 33%, actually come from the on-site sales to the customer. Okay, bakeries, brew pots, and you can breweries and wineries and inn. Okay, we will go to the details. So just let you know, this is the 33% requirement. And also, if your business located in an airport terminal or inside another business like a conference center or hotel, you actually you are qualified, but have to be you operate independently. And also tribally owned concerned are eligible too. So who are not eligible? The first one, if state or local government owned operated, is not eligible. On March 13, 2020. If you have more than 20 locations, you are not eligible. But if you just, for example, you have 5 truck cart, the food trucks is all under you, and your headquarters is in your home, that doesn't count 5, so count 1. So that's good news. And also, if you have a pending application or you already received the shuttle venue operator grant, you are not eligible for RRF. If you are a publicly traded company or permanently closed or a nonprofit organization, you are not qualified. And later when we do the calculation, actually after the calculation, you only can get less than $1,000. Actually, you're not eligible because the Congress have the purpose to have this grant. I will explain that later. So on the website, you can see all the different business style included. Okay, for the B corporation, you can select S corporation or C corporation, depends on how you file your tax. You can apply, use your employer's identification number or social security number or IT number, that's individual tax ID number. For people to use IT number to apply, they need to pay in the past 3 years, at least 1 year, they pay the tax. Okay, the good news, actually, we know some restaurants, actually, they were under construction or renovation, they prepared to open, but because of pandemic, actually, they didn't open, okay? As of March 11, 2021, if you already have those incurred, those expenses, you're qualified, okay? And even for PPP, if you're involved in any bankruptcy, you're not qualified, but for RRF, if you're still operating under approved plan of reorganization under Chapter 11, 12, or 13 bankruptcy, you are eligible. But if file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you are not eligible. On March 13, 2020, cannot have more than 20 locations. If you got PPP, it's okay. But if you have a pending PPP, where have some problem, because you can not get PPP and the RRF together. You cannot apply both together. So the suggestion is you should withdraw. If you have a pending PPP, you should withdraw your PPP loan. Because when you apply for the RRF, they will ask you that actually, are you applying PPP? But we are afraid if you get a PPP approved later, will cause a problem. Okay, and if you have any idle loan, idle advance, or target idle advance, is okay. If you are a franchise, actually, your brand have to be listed on the SBA franchise directory. If not, actually, you can submit. Franchisor actually can submit the franchise disclosure documents, actually, to show actually you have an agreement. How much can business get? So for each location, the maximum is $5 million. But the total, okay, for the applicant is $10 million. Also, Congress require all the applicants have to certify because due to the current economic uncertainty, so actually you need the fund. Okay, so here is one example that actually how PPP can affect you. So for example, if your calculation, you can get $2,000, but you got a PPP loan for $1,500. So after the reduction, you only can get $500. So Congress actually, they mandate, okay, so you have to use the fund to support the ongoing operation. So, but SBA think less than $1,000 is not enough for you to keep your business going. That's why if less than $1,000, you're not eligible. The other definition is different from what we thought is in operation, because later when I explain the calculation, is according the time that you were in operation, you started sales. So actually they say the definition is not the day that you register your business. It's the day that actually you start making sales. Okay, so that's very important for everybody, and you need to actually you have to provide the day that actually you started making sales. Later when I explain the calculation, if your business actually you start sales actually in 2019, then you can choose to use calculation 2 or 3. Okay. But if you use calculation 3, it will take a longer time. Okay, so the other things that for the correction, we know that people, human beings make, mistakes. So make sure that actually that's why right now we provide a lot of training and have the sample of application for you to download. We hope that actually everybody can download that and practice, just fill in all the calculations, everything, all the information, and then you can just transfer online, start from May 3rd. So because if you provide any information is not correct, you can correct that. You can revisit the application portal to correct those. Or you can call the support hotline, but actually you have to start your time. You have to go back to the, the end of the line. Right now, SBA, estimate that everybody can get your funds within 14 days. But if you revisit and change the information, then you have to start over again, 14 days circle. The last one, if SBA already dispersed the funds to you, you cannot change any information. So we hope everybody can make sure the information is correct when you apply. So I make this table to make it clear. Okay, this is how you decide which calculation. If you started your business, not start business, started sales, okay, you started your sales actually before January 1st, 2019, you use calculation 1. If you started your sales actually after during the 2019, then you can choose use calculation 2 or 3. If you started your sales between 2020 January 1st and 2021 March 10th, you use calculation 3. If you haven't started your business actually on March 11, 2021, then you use calculation 3. Now we go to each of the calculation. The calculation 1 is for those you start your, started making sales before January 1st, 2019. The calculation is really simple. You use your 2019's gross receipt, then subtract your 2020's gross receipt, then subtract your PPP loan. That's it. Okay. So here, just tell you, later we will explain. Actually, SBA right now is working with point of sales. Those we call restaurant partner. Actually, you can get a report from them directly, or even you can apply through their website. Okay, I will explain that later. So, but just keep in mind, a gross receipt doesn't include the following. Okay, so that one we will go to the detail later. For all the gross receipt, don't do that. So 2019 is minus 2020 and minus PPP. That's it. Okay, and each location maximum $5 million. If the number is less than $1,000, then you are not eligible. The second calculation, just remember, if you started your sales during 2019, you can choose calculation 2 or 3. Okay, so this one, the first one, you get your 2019's gross receipt, and then depends on how many months you were in operation. So here they use the example. If the business actually were in operation for 2.5 months in 2019 and make $25,000, so you use the $25,000 divided by 2.5. So that's like your average monthly gross receipt, and then times 12. So pretend that actually if you were in operation the whole year in 2019, you were supposed to get $120,000, and then you use that number to subtract 2020's gross receipt and subtract PPP loan. That's it. Okay, so it's really simple. The last one, a little bit complicated because the expenses. So for those businesses between January 1st, 2020 and March 11, 2021, and for those actually you haven't opened to the public actually on March 11th. So the first things you have to get your eligible expenses incurred, okay, or paid. Okay, look at the days, you can count back from February 15, 2020 to March 11, 2021. Okay, so those past dues, debts, actually you can include them. So use that number, eligible expenses, then you subtract 2020's gross receipt. And then subtract PPP, that's it, okay? But do not include any amount that you repaid on or before May 18, 2020. Okay. So here we have to go to some details, like how can you use the funds? Okay, so the cover period I already mentioned is 3 years. Okay, so if you cannot use all the funds before that day, you must return those unused funds to Treasury. So you can cover for business payroll costs. This is similar to PPP loan, and the payment for any business mortgage obligation. For PPP, actually only cover for interest, but for RRF, actually including principal and interest, but not include prepayment. Business rent cannot include any prepayment. Business debt service, like your credit card or you have other loans, cannot include prepayment. Business utilities, okay, anything. Even we know restaurants have the delivery, so the gasolines actually for the delivery can be count, or the food truck use gas, can count that too. Business maintenance expenses, okay, so you can maintain its feet for the walls, floors, deck surfaces, or any furnitures and equipment. Construction, actually, they have a restriction. For construction, only for outdoor seatings. You cannot include those construction you want to expand your restaurant, or so those or expand other locations. So that cannot be counted. Only the outdoor seating construction can be included. Business suppliers, including PPE and the cleaning materials. Business food and beverage expenses, including raw materials for beer, wine, or spirits. And for the covered supplier costs have to be essential for the operation. This is similar to the PPP loan. And the last one, business operating expenses. All those regular, for example, rent, equipment, suppliers, inventory, accounting, training, legal, marketing, insurance, licenses, fees. Past due expenses are eligible, okay, and can were incurred actually beginning on February 15, 2020. So that's very good news. I just hope everybody have those records keep with you. So, but because you're using the government funds. So actually you have to do the annual report for each December. Okay, you have to submit and certify those how much you used in what. The detailed information haven't come out yet. So we will see that later. How to apply? There are 3 ways. Okay, so SBA actually is still recruiting point of sale vendor. So far we already signed agreement with this the following 4. If you have account with Square or Toast, actually you can apply on their website directly. But of course, it's the SBA will make the decision, because they already have all your financial documents, so actually it will be fast. Also, Clover and NCR or Aloha, actually they can provide those financial documentation, but you still have to apply by yourself, cannot go to their website to apply. The second way is you can apply on SBA's website directly. And the third way, actually, you can use telephone to apply. So I will go to the detail. So if you have your own POS that isn't, is not SBA's restaurant partner yet, you still can submit the report, financial report. Actually, that will save SBA's time to verify those numbers. So this is for 4, we already signed agreement with them. Depends on their services actually. So we will have update list. If you apply through SBA website, first things you have to collect all the documents together and save them on your computer so you can upload. So then you go to the website, you create an account, you answer the questionnaire. I will show you later about those questions. Then you upload those documents. Then actually they will send to you a DocuSign package. Okay, they will send the package to you by email. Then you sign it, send back to them. That actually will start the 14 days processing. So if they need more information or other documentation, they will contact you by email. If your case is approved, then the funds will automatically be deposited to your bank account. If you want to use telephone, then we really encourage you, okay, you can use find a computer, because you can see the procedure take longer time. You still have to have all the document. Then you call that number, you answer each of the question. The agent actually will fill in for you. Then after you complete those questions, everything, all the information, they will print out and also they will mail you the package. Then you have to notify it, okay, notarize the packages and send back to SBA. Then that, when SBA receive that, we start the 14 days, the cycle for the processing. Also, if you are approved, actually, they will deposit to your bank account. So now we talk about the bank account, okay? Don't provide your personal bank account information. Have to be commercial business account. For sole proprietors, if you don't have the business account, you have to submit actually your bank statement at least for 3 months. So actually, if start on May 3rd, you should have the 3 months, February, March, and April. Those history that show that actually that's really your business activities on that statement. Also, the hotline, okay? Right now, actually, SBA headquarters encourage everybody. You download the form. If you have any questions, please call the hotline. They want to collect all the questions. And then they have FAQ. I will show you later. So that will be unified. So that will be good. So please contact the hotline if you have any questions, and you can get the right answer. Okay. And if you need one-on-one counseling from our office or from the local, we call resource partner. SBA have a Small Business Development Center, Women Business Center, and SCORE. Actually, they provide one-on-one counseling. So if you go to website, sba.gov/local-assistance, you enter your zip code, actually you can find those organizations around you. But I think actually you will have all the chambers to help you. Okay, so please contact them. The next one actually have different kind of situation. If you own more than one location or restaurants, so there are 3 examples. First one, you have 3 restaurants. Each of them have their own tax ID number, and they usually file the tax by themselves separately. So you do the same thing, okay? So each of them should file in separately. The second situation, you have 3 restaurants, but usually you only have one employer's ID number. Then normally they file together, okay? So same thing, you do the same way, just file one application. Okay. The third situation is if you have 3 restaurants, have one tax ID number, but all the 3 restaurants, they started at different time, okay? So actually you have to fill in each of them according to the time, use calculation 1 or 2 or 3, and then you add them up. Actually, you fill in the calculation 4, the table 4. That's how you do the calculation. For the identification number, the TIN number, this time, if a sole proprietor without employees, if you don't have a social security number or IT number or employer's identification number, you are not eligible. Or any other entity does not have an EIN number, then you are not eligible. Okay, so this one just require everybody pay tax. So any owner own more than 20% the ownership, if don't have a social security number or IT number, the business is not eligible either. So SBA have set aside for really tiny, restaurants and drink provider. So $5 billion set aside for those business with 2019 gross receipt not more than $500,000, and additional $500 million for those business with 2019 gross receipt not more than $50,000. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the priority. The first 21 days, business owned by women or veterans or socially and economically disadvantaged, more than 51%. Okay, so they are the priority to get the funds first for the first 21 days. So for example, how do you count those 3 different groups? For example, there's one business have 5 owners and each own 20%, and 2 owners are veterans and 1 is socially economically disadvantaged. So it's count 3, 3 people, 3 owners are qualified, so it's 60%. But if 5 owners each own 20%, one of the owners is a woman veteran and also socially economically disadvantaged, can only count 1. Okay, so it's only 20%. So she's not qualified for the priority. But of course, she can apply from day 1, but will be processed actually after 22nd days. Okay, I already explained that. So now we will look, everybody have to prepare the documentation. So please work with your accountants or your bookkeeper, or you have third-party server, get all the documents ready. Because the computer actually they control. If you didn't submit the required document, you cannot submit it. They don't accept it. So if you started your sales before January 1st, 2019, you have to provide the documents of your gross receipt of 2019 and 2020. For those started in 2019, you can choose use calculation 2 or calculation 3. So if you choose to use calculation 2, then you have to provide those documents for the gross received for 2019 and 2020. And if you choose to use calculation 3, then you have to provide the documentation of gross received for 2020, and other are the eligible expenses. Okay. And for business actually started between January 1st, 2020 and March 10, 2021, or those haven't started on March 11, 2021, you have to provide all the documents actually of gross receipt and eligible expenses. Okay, so this is the one for all the applicants. You need to have the form 3172. That's the one will be online. Okay, so now we have the samples actually. So for you download to practice. And also 4506T, that's the one that authorizes SBA to get your tax information from IRS. That will be online too, but I will have a sample for you later. So for those gross receipt documentation, depends on how you file your business tax, okay? And the 3 months bank statement, and also I will go to the detail, okay? So this is just tell you, you can, if you have all of this. Now we go to the details. If you use calculation 1 and 2, okay? So these two forms, the first two forms will be online. Then you need to have 2019's your tax return. So all the document you should save on your computer, okay? And also 3 months of bank statement. Some banks will have the monthly. So, but we know that actually CPA, actually they can combine them together. And also for the 2020's gross receipt, SBA preferred, okay, if you can have this, actually can save the time that SBA to process your funding. The first one is 2020's tax return. So we know we still have time. So if you can file that actually before May 3rd would be the best. And also, or you can get the point of sales report, okay? This one, can process faster. But if you don't have those, actually SBA will accept your externally or internally prepared financial statement, such as your income statement or your P&L. And you have to sign, date, and certify as to accuracy by the business. If you use calculation 3, okay, so the first two forms will be online, and then you have to have 3 months of bank statement. And for the 2020 and 2021 gross receipt, SBA preferred you have 2020's fax, the tax return, and get 2020 and 2021's your point of sales report. Okay, for the eligible expenses, okay, this is a document you need to collect. So SBA preferred if you can get a CPA comfort letter. Comfort letter is a CPA, they like a simple audit, and then they write everything is accurate. Okay, if you can get that one, actually can be speed up the procedure. The other, okay, for those expenses, this information is not on your tax return, so you need to find them. First one is a payroll document, okay, in your 9041, and your auto seating expenses, so that you have to submit your invoices or payment, and also all the business debt, like from your lender loan statement. If you don't have this, then you can, SBA can accept your income statement or P&L, and also those expenses. So please start working to collect those documents and save them. So yesterday, actually, they have a demonstration of the application. They say if you have all the documents, all the information, and you're already familiar, practice, you have all the answers, for your question, then actually you can finish that within 30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes. So please get ready. So this is the form 35060 that you have to apply, you have to fill in. So this is, you can download now and to fill in the information. For this, all this industry I mentioned, you need to prove that actually your 2019, at least 33% of the gross receipt actually is from the on-site sales. Okay, some people, they ask if people order food or drinks online, but they have to be pick up. They have to pick up on site, okay? But this is for 2019. But in 2020, we know most people actually, they can order online and delivery. That's okay. But in 2019, you need to find those documents to prove actually those on-site sales, okay? We know that actually some like bookkeepers, actually bookkeeping systems, actually they separate that. So I think that some of the industry, business, actually they really have to find those numbers. So now we go to gross receipt. What can be included? There are several slides actually include all the information. Just I won't go through with them. So hope that actually you can find those like this one, what can be included, what can be reduced, and also later have some slides actually on the instruction when you apply, okay? So the best practice for you is, first things, you have to collect all the documents. The second one, talk to your CPA or accounting professionals actually to verify those numbers that actually you should include or not include, and all the numbers get ready. Then make sure that actually when you apply, all just enter the correct information. If you have questions, even when you are online, applying, you can call the hotline. Okay, but we hope that everybody can practice in advance. The hotline already open. So from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., you can talk to the agent directly. But outside those working hours, you still can leave a message. They will call you back. Especially now, we want to collect all the questions actually. So if you have a question, please ask them. So we know actually what information is important, and SBA can make decision and announce that. Okay. And the last one, if you still intend to apply for PPP, you really have to think about to apply for the PPP in advance of the RRF, or actually you were wait, okay, or withdraw that one if already applied. You cannot apply PPP and the RRF simultaneously. Okay. The following part will be some definitions because because this is all legal terms actually by the Congress actually. So the definition may be different from what you think. So this section I have to explain. I already mentioned, don't include when you calculate your gross revenue. Do not include the following. Like all the funds get from government. The section 1112 payment is if the borrowers got SBA's guarantee loan, including 7A, 504, and microloan in 2020. Actually, SBA paid for all the borrowers up to 6 months. and then 2021 up to 3 months, including principal and interest. Those are the 1112 payment. Okay, so if you got any of this, actually, please subtract from your gross receipt. Okay, payroll cost, okay, including the following, similar to PPP. Do not include, there are 2 slides, so please make sure do not include the following in your payroll cost. Okay, now I want to explain what's socially and economically disadvantaged. So for socially disadvantaged, actually, the following groups: Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Native Americans, including Alaska Natives and Native Hawaiians, Asian Pacific Americans, or subcontinent Asian Americans. So they are automatically qualify for socially disadvantaged and economic disadvantaged individuals. Okay, and also they announce disabled. Okay, if disabled business owner actually qualify for this one. Okay, but for LGBT actually they are qualified for socially disadvantaged, but they have to prove actually they are qualified for economic disadvantage. So later I will have a slides. That's the definition for the economic disadvantage. So this is the form, okay? This is the form simple. I just type up all the questions, let you know. You need to know the answer. Business legal name, please enter the one exactly the same with your IRS form. Do business as. Your business address, we use your main location. For the food trucks or food cars, actually, you should enter the address of the business headquarters. Normally it's your home address. SBA cannot accept PO boxes. Your business tax ID number, you can choose one, but have to be unexpired, especially for the IT number, and also your bank account number. We know when we deal with PPP, some people, they enter the bank account is already closed. Okay, so please make sure it is your active bank account. Any owners own more than 20%, you have to enter their tax ID number and also percentage of ownership. Then you check your business style. Then you answer yes or no. Are you a government operated business? Do you have more than 20 locations? Did you get a shuttle venue operators grant? Are you publicly traded company? And you select your industry. Are you permanently closed? No, any relate in those bankruptcy situation, your first PPP, your second PPP, how much, and the loan number. So you need to find those information. And do you have any affiliation? So actually they have a definition for that. Generally is you own more than 50% that of other business, or you have the agreement can control other business, okay, more than 50% that you can make decision for other business. So here, if you have if you are a franchise, actually you can check here, make sure it's on SBA's franchise directory. And if your business actually were suspended or debarred, or actually even voluntarily excluded from any federal department or agency. The last one, number 10, what day did you begin making sales? Okay, if your business actually started before January 1st, 2019, that's okay. But actually, if you started your business sales actually in 2019, you really have to find that day. So that's count how many months actually you were in the business in 2019. So this is a calculation, okay? Calculation 1, calculation 2, 3, this is 4. If you know the situation I mentioned, for example, you have 3 restaurants, they all started with different, at different time. Then you have to calculate 1, 2, 3 according to their time. Then you add them up and then write down how many locations you have. Okay, so the application form is, the calculation is really simple. This is table 1. I already explained to you. So 2019 minus 2020 and then minus PPP. Here, they just ask you, how many locations you have, and then cannot more than $5 million for each location. So then you can choose which one is smaller, number line 5 or 7. Cannot more than $10 million total. So if more than that, and then you can you have to fill in the maximum is $10 million. Next one is calculation 2, similar, okay? You have to calculate 2019. This is for business started in 2019. So how many months you were in operation in 2019, and then calculate the monthly average, and then times 12, and then minus 2020 and the PPP, okay? So this is for the each location $5 million calculation. The table 3, okay, the first thing is you have to collect all those information for your eligible expenses. Then you can minus 2020's gross receipt and the PPP. So the calculation is really, really simple, okay? And more questions, okay? How will you use your funds? So you can check all of them applicable. Okay, so here, okay, so are you one of those priority groups? Okay, so this is actually is a self-certification. Regularly, if you want to get government contract, those certification actually you have to, through those procedure and documentation. But here, okay, you just self-certification that actually, that's why you need to know exactly you are qualified. The next one is the required documentation. So for everybody, those 2 forms actually that online, and then the following are the one that you choose one. Then you have to upload the document. If you didn't, actually, they won't accept your application, the computer automatically. The next section will be all those actually you have to read and then initial each of them. Okay, so like you are not permanently closed yet, those questions. So this is the optional is demographic information. The following section are the instructions, okay? So each item, if you're not sure, you should come to the instruction section. So this is the one I mentioned before. For LGBT groups, actually they are socially economic disadvantage and socially disadvantaged, but they have to prove they are economically disadvantaged. So they need to see the number about their net worth, their personal income, and their, so here is total assets. The total assets actually excluding the, you can see here, if they got the ownership interest in the applicant, and also primary personal residence or funds invested in an official retirement account, those not included, okay? So cannot more than $6 million. So they have to meet this economic disadvantage disabled individuals, okay? Okay, so this is the fun part actually. This is the FAQ, okay? So that's why we encourage you have questions, call the hotline. They will collect all the questions and have the answers. So everybody have the standard unified answers. So there are 3 sections actually. One is for the knowledge based and the other one is for specific. I already update to yesterday, okay, but I believe today and we'll have more more Q&A here. I encourage you to read all of them, go through all of them. It's very specific, like this one, counting locations and counting your affiliates. Actually, those information are very important when you answer the questions. Okay. We don't have time to go through all of them because I want to actually provide you some information about PPP and IDLE, especially IDLE good news and how to request for increase. For PPP, there are 2 websites you can find the lenders, okay? And there are changes. So there are 4 forms right now. The biggest changes is for the Schedule C filer. Originally, actually, they only can use the line 31 is their net profits. Now they can choose to use line 7, that's their gross revenue. So usually they can get more money actually, okay? So there are 4 forms. The first change is actually is how to calculate the employees number. Actually have to count back the 12 completed calendar to get those average number of employees. The second one I already mentioned, okay, you can choose to use the line 7, but when you choose the line 7, if you have employees, you have to minus line 14, 19, and 26, okay? So if you are partners, you cannot use the Schedule C filers form. If you are a single member of LLC and you file Schedule C, it's okay. So this is the calculation I already mentioned. You have to, for owner's compensation, you have to minus those 4 lines. Then you have to add the employee's payroll cost back. So that will be your total payroll cost. So the calculations here, okay. If you apply for your second PPP loan, if your next code actually beginning with 72, that's a hotel and the food industry, you can get 1 month more than any other industry. You can get 3.5 months. The third change is as long as is non-fraud conviction, you are eligible. Okay, originally it's not. But if in the past 5 years you have arrest or conviction for a family fraud or still currently incarcerated, still not eligible. If you own a student loan before was eligible, now actually is eligible. Those who cannot get a social security number, now they can use their IT number to pay tax, okay, to apply to. So the last day to apply is May 31st. I won't go to the details about application. Just want to make sure everybody know you have to apply for forgiveness. Okay, even less than $50,000. We know there is a rule saying, we're automatically forgiven. That's not true. Okay, no matter how much actually you got from PPP, you have to apply, you have to submit for forgiveness. Okay. IDLE loan, the good news, start from April 6th. Okay, so originally go up to $150,000. Now up to 24 months. And the maximum amount is $500,000. And the other good news is your referment time actually right now actually is 24 months. So okay, you don't have to pay until 2022. So this is how you request for increase. So this slide, the slide 160, okay, please remember. You go to the website, you click on request more funds, and then they ask you have any changes, so you can correct that. And they ask you most recent tax return. Then you can select your new increased loan amount. You can move the cursor, slider bar, okay? And then you have to sign the 4506T. That's it. You complete it and submit it. That's how you request for the idle increase. You cannot reapply. Okay, idle can only apply once, but now you can request for increase. For idle advance, actually, there are two good news. This is just announced on April 22nd. Got more funding, so actually we have $5,000 supplemental target advance, but only for those business located in the low income area, and they already applied for the IDOS 2020. Okay, so this is the other we call target idle advance. That's for those business located in the low income area, and they can prove that actually they have an 8 weeks period begin on March 2nd, 2020. They have more than 30% reduction in revenue. Originally is $1,000 for each of employees, and the maximum is $10,000. Now everybody qualify for those two situations. Actually, everybody can get $10,000. And we know a lot of applicants, they applied for idle advance last year. They didn't get the funds because the funds ran out. So that will be the second priority group to get the new funding. Okay, so if you haven't applied for idle, I really encourage you to apply, because you can apply, but maybe you have to wait for several months to get approval. And then if that time, you don't need the loan, you don't have to accept it. Okay, but if you don't apply now, you don't have the chance. So I encourage everybody to apply. For business, the interest rate is 3.75. For nonprofit organization, is 2.75. Shelter venue operators grant started from April 26. Okay, so if you know anybody qualified, please let them know. The last one, I encourage you, okay, if before September 30th, 2021, this year, if you, of course, you have to plan, okay, to calculate, to see your financial situation. If you still need money to back you up, in case the situation not better soon, you can apply for SBA's 7A loan, 504 loan, or micro loan, because SBA will pay for you. Okay, if you can get loan before September, they will pay for you for 3 months, including principal and interest. Can go up to $9,000 per month. So there's total $27,000. So it's like a grant for you. So I really encourage you. 7A loan, actually, okay. So this, the next slides actually have those information, but I want to just let you know, if you have idle problems, you have to contact the disaster center directly. If you have PPP problems, you have to contact your lenders. Only your lenders can solve those problems. If you need one-on-one counseling or help you with application, you can contact, we have 3 resource partners. Okay, I want to talk about these 3 loans. 7A loan, you can use the money for almost everything through our participate lenders. So most of the big banks, actually, they are SBA's participating lenders. You can borrow up to $5 million. The loan, the interest rate is prime rate plus 2.25 to 2.75. No fee right now, okay? All the fees are eliminated. So 504 loan, okay? I think that this is good for the Rockland County, especially. This is for business to buy the property or machinery. The beauty of this program, you only pay 10% down. SBA will lend you 40%, and we will find the lender lend you 50%. So you can borrow up to $12 million. The requirement is you have to use more than 51% of the property for your own business. 40 something percent you can rent out. So a lot of business right now come to, especially Manhattan, to buy the property. So they can rent out 40 something percent and use that rent to pay the mortgage. And also in New York State, If you use this program, you don't have to pay the mortgage recording tax. And this is 25 years fixed interest. Okay, so this is a loan help a lot of business. Micro loan is for startups. Okay, so you can borrow up to $50,000. So if you can get these three loan, three kinds of loan before September 30th, actually, SBA can pay for you for 3 months. That's a very good relief. Okay, this conclude my presentation today. Get back to you, Tom.
Okay, thank you, Manli. That was fantastic. I didn't know anything about the RRF, and that was very comprehensive. I think anybody that listened in is going to be well armed applying, as well as for the PPP and the EDIL. I learned something. I actually just, full disclosure, I applied for the EDIL early on last year, and I wasn't aware that that program was still in place. So that's really good information. Thank you.
Okay, I hope you can get a increase too.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we did okay over the last year, so we'll have to see if it's necessary. I'm certain there's a multitude of businesses that would benefit from it. I know that your time is limited. Do you have time for just a few quick questions? Or?
Really, no. I have to go to the SBA's headquarters training for the RRF. Yeah, we have to get the update information. Okay.
All right, no problem. Maybe I could shoot you an email and just any questions that come about, and we'll correspond some more.
Okay. Yeah.
This has been amazing. I thank you so much for doing this. This is really great.
Okay.
Manli her contact information. Let me just put it back on the screen. Hang on one moment. Okay, so Manli Lin, Economic Development Specialist, New York District Office of the U.S. SBA. Contact information, man-lee.lin@sba.gov. So if you need to reach out to her, I'll also collect these questions and I'll send them out to her. Just a quick heads up, again, a reminder, the Chamber Alliance of Rockland is a collection of the 8 chambers of commerce across Rockland County, 9 soon to be. We have a 9th Chamber of Commerce that's starting up. If you are not a member of a local Chamber of Commerce, please consider joining. You can contact any of these chambers of commerce that are listed on your screen. Very easy to find them. You can also reach out to me. I'll connect you with the right individual. And if you're a member of one chamber, then that gives you access to all of these different chamber meetings and resources across all of Rockland County. We're not looking to combine them all. This is just, we work very well together, and we want to make sure that we spread the right information and provide the right resources for the various chamber members across Rockland County. So thank you all for being here. I know it was a very comprehensive presentation. If you have any questions, just contact me offline. I'm sure you know how to reach me by now if we've ever talked before. So until then, please stay tuned, and we'll have a lot more great presentations. And again, thank you once again, Manli from the Small Business Administration. We'll look forward to seeing you again. Have a great rest of the week. Take care for now.